Uh-huh.
So sometimes that's hard to figure out, and you just have to really bring the energy from within yourself and just hope that it's going well.
I see. Well, of course, you got some experience now because you returned to most countries that you've been to. So, are there any examples for that?
Yes.
Well, I'm calling from Cologne, Germany. So, I don't know. Maybe, probably, as I would say, the stereotype is that the southern European countries, for example, the Italians and French or the Spanish people are more open to open up, and then maybe the German and the Swiss and the Scandinavians are a bit more reserved, but then maybe come up later. Is there any Are there any cliche like stereotypes that, or not stereotypes, are any things that you learned, and do you take this into consideration when you do programs or when you make your set list?
I think the biggest thing that we've taken into consideration is we have to always bring as much energy as we can, no matter where we go.
Hmm.
Because even within, certain regions, there are different ways of people
Yeah,
responding.
of course.
And I'll give you an example. Even in the United States, people from the East Coast are very different from people from the West Coast.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
It's a
or
very
people
big.
from the South.
Yeah,
It's very different as far as region is concerned.
yeah, yeah,
So we have to understand that no matter what it is that an audience may be giving back to us, we have to always, within ourselves, be energized.
yeah.
And a lot of times you can bring people out of their shell,
Hmm.
depending on what you're doing on stage. But to answer your question a little more fully, sometimes we do make sure that we change the set list up a bit, depending on where we're doing the show. An example of that would be if we're in a church setting,
Hmm.
doing a church program or show, that may be a little bit different as far as the set list is
Yeah,
concerned than if we're doing a jazz festival
yeah,
or something of that nature.
yeah. Obviously, yeah, and also keeping it fresh by that way. So, talking about countries and the upcoming show that we're talking of, when you think of your northern neighbor, Canada, anything comes to your mind particularly?
Well, yeah. For me, we used to live in Buffalo, New York, my family.
Uh-huh,
So we used to go to Toronto quite a bit. So I remember when I was a child
uh-huh,
going across the border and seeing Toronto and loving how large and how clean a city it
yeah,
was way back then.
yeah,
Very diverse cultures and everything.
hmm,
We've only been to Canada a few times in Take Six's professional life, so this would be a really great time to go and see some of the people we haven't seen in a while. So that's what
cool.
I'm looking forward to doing.
Oh, then it's still a fresh experience. So next question is about like freshness and keeping it fresh too. Well, after so many years that you've been touring with the guys and of course doing a lot of albums, working with the greatest artists together, is there any like techniques that you have to keep your performing and your touring life fresh and like keeping it new for yourself?
For me personally, to keep things fresh, I try to take to the stage each night as if it's my last time and my first time.
Very nice,
You
yeah.
know, yeah. Otherwise, it's very easy to find yourself daydreaming
Yeah,
during
yeah,
a show
yeah,
or going kind of robotic because you're used to doing certain things.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if I can find a place within my own self that is telling me, wow, this might be the last time,
yeah, yeah.
or this is the first time, you find that energy or even that little bit of nervousness, it keeps it fresh for me.
Yeah, that's a great approach. Yeah, see that the first and the last time. So, has it ever been difficult through your music career, also as a group, because you're kind of like probably you're not like there's one boss who directs the show or does the program. Has it ever been difficult to come up with new ideas and new programs for new shows?
It is difficult because there are so many of us and we're all very, very creative. So what we try to do, because we're a true democracy,
Hmm.
is
Oh,
to make sure that everybody's ideas are heard. And I am generally the person that corrals or brings those ideas together and tries to fashion out
hmm,
the overall show. But we
hmm.
try to make sure that everybody is heard and listened to. And I think that's what makes for good energy when everybody feels like they are a part of it instead of just doing what one person wants them to do.
Yeah, yeah, okay, kind of like a you're the benign the coordinator of these ideas, of this input that you get. That's great if that works. It's like a friendly democracy. So collaboration is also a very important part of Take Six's career. So you worked with the greatest artists you can imagine. What do these external collaborations mean for the group?
Oh, wow. It's been incredible for us because just about all of the collaborations that we've done have been with artists that we have either grown up listening to and really loving, or, somewhere during our career have really enjoyed what it is they do. And so it's a mutual admiration thing. Mm-hmm. We're able to get the best from them and they get the best from us. And I think it brings the level of creativity even higher, and that's a wonderful thing for us.
It helps also to inspire you to new ideas. So Take Six on stage is both a fantastic musical experience and high level singing, but also a great entertainment that people can enjoy. How do you keep the right balance between that, between the very high level of singing and also being so entertaining?
Well, that's a really great question. What we've tried to do, and what I've tried to do, is I try to put myself in the audience. And I think we've always been able to have the musical side of things where we want it to be. But I've tried to make sure, and I think we all have been trying to make sure, that if I'm sitting in the audience, what is it I want to see from these people on stage? How much, because you want your eye to be diverted, and you want to see things. You want it to, especially with an a cappella group, sometimes depending on how involved the arrangements are, even the most ardent a cappella fans can get tired just listening.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
So it's important that we do things or break things up. And when I say break things up, sometimes it can be where there's a trio singing, or we do something with piano or guitars, or there's a soloist or whatever. And I think that all of those things become the entire entertainment package that someone sitting in the audience can digest and feel good about being in.
Yeah. Well, a long time after you've started pioneering the a cappella scene with a few other groups, like decades ago, now a cappella singing has become quite popular during the last years due to TV shows like The Sing Off and Pitch Perfect, the movie, and also now with Pentatonics, there's a vocal group in the pop charts. What do you think of this development?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I think that anything that draws attention to what it is that we do is a wonderful thing. And of course, we've always felt that a cappella has been a very viable entertainment source, and it's always been with us. But now the mainstream is getting a chance to embrace this music, and I think that it allows all of us now to actually have renewed careers and renewed interest. And I think it's wonderful for Pentatonics and for Naturally Seven and Take Six and the Pitch Perfect movies, just all of it. I think it all helps each other.
So has it actually changed something for you as a group?
I think the biggest change for us is, quite honestly, that we realize now that as far as mainstream is concerned, 25 years ago, when we first came out, a lot of people thought that we were the only ones, or we're the only ones. And now there's so many out there that now even we have to understand that we have to raise our level of creativity, our level of entertainment and everything, because there are some really great groups out there. So we're actually somewhat in competition with all of them now, and that's a good thing.
It keeps everything fresh in a different way too. Yeah. Yes. So the penultimate question: if you compare the group when you started out to the group today, Take Six, what are the most important things that have changed during that career?
Wow, that's another really great question. I think, interestingly enough, I think when you've been doing this as long as we have, you learn so much from the business side of things. When we first started out, we were doing it solely because we enjoyed the music. And we still enjoy the music, but we know so much more about the business aspect of it. And I think we're also better singers and I think we're better friends. And I think all of those things make for an overall better experience as far as the group is concerned.
Yeah. And that's the big work of art. If the groups like you or the Real Group, for example, are able to stay friends over such a long time, or like a good community and a good collaboration, and of course within that improve their musical performance, that's fantastic, and that's why probably these groups stayed so long. So last question is about Toronto again. Is there anything you can say to people who will come there about the program that they will see there? What is the current program that you're touring now? Anything that you can tell people now?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to do a mixture of obviously our old songs and some brand new ones. And when I say brand new, I mean brand new for us.
Yeah.
We're going to do, and this kind of goes back to one of your other questions. What we're doing now is something that we hadn't really thought about before. Doing some of the popular songs of today, and
okay,
giving a Take Six arrangement to them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I think that's what people expect, and that's what they want to hear. They want to hear some songs that they may love and hear them a cappella now, and that's what a lot of the groups are doing. So we do a few of those. So listen out and check us out. We're going to do a couple of things that you absolutely know, and they'll be in the Take Six way, and we're all going to have a great time.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Claude. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for taking the time. And
thank you.
Yeah, I hope to see you in person when you're back in Germany. I'll hope to chase you up. Have a great tour. Bye-bye.
Would love to do that. You take care.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye.